I wanted to create a series of videos called the Good Diaries, and it's going to be all about well-being, mental health, doing stuff for you, but also like how to get out of a rut, how to be more productive, how to be more positive, but from a perspective of someone that's currently in the motions of doing that. We always go through ups and downs. It's okay preaching about how to feel better about yourself, how to be this, how to be that. I wanted to talk about feeling good and well-being from a perspective of dealing with it every single day, pulling myself out of bad places, and just to be honest and open, because I think that we do need a little bit more realness in our lives. I am someone that occasionally in my everyday life, I like to call it a spiral. I spiral. And what that means is my job isn't 9 to 5. I don't have a normal kind of job. When you're self-employed, it's very hard to kind of figure out whether you're about the routine or if you should embrace the freedom. And for me, I'm constantly battling those two things. Do I need routine or do I just go with the fucking flow? One thing that happens to me when I'm really, really busy, when I'm away from home a lot, when I'm doing one thing after other, boom, 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 is I kind of forget about myself, and then that kind of trickles and affects like other aspects of my life. I eat consecutively badly. I don't have a balanced diet at all. I usually drink quite a lot of booze because I might be at events and stuff, and I don't really exercise. And I think for me, exercising as part of my routine is the thing that kind of keeps me going and sort of level-headed, because I know that I'm doing something good for myself, and it keeps me in like kind of a positive mindset. So, you know, I go through these phases where I feel like I'm kind of lost a bit of control of my everyday. I don't feel as productive, I don't feel as positive, and I kind of feel a bit shitty about myself. Today, I am going to be talking about how health and fitness as part of my routine and implementing things into my routine surrounding this subject kind of help me get back to a better place. So I'm starting this whilst I was in the motions of coming out of a dip, of a bit of a spiral, and coming out of it. Take it away. The first 5:45 alarm isn't the easiest one. It does take a lot of mental struggle to get me out. I'm always thinking of excuses. I think, oh, maybe I just need to sleep a little bit longer. But it's that kind of initial jumping over that hurdle. It literally feels like a hurdle, stepping one foot out of bed and standing up, and then you're up and you're ready and you can go. Once I'm getting ready for boot camp, I'm fine. I'm tired, I'm a little bit grumpy. The drive there, I'm thinking, you know what, this isn't so bad, this is pretty easy. And then I get there and I'm wide awake, buzzing, I'm outgoing, I'm talking to everyone, and it's all all right. For me, that initial getting up is the hardest part. But I know that once I'm up, once I've done that workout, I'm gonna go home and still be in good time to carry on the rest of my day, and I've done something that makes me feel good essentially. Maybe not at the time of doing it, it's quite hard. I know that it's doing well, it's doing good for myself. It can only be beneficial, because then I can go home and start my day and I feel super proud and already pretty productive. The first day back is always the hardest, and the way you gotta think about it is it's only going to get easier from here. Well, I say easier, it's only going to go up from here. Oh, I feel so unfit. I feel like I weigh an absolute ton. I just feel like I'm carrying so much extra baggage, which makes everything harder. Also, my chest is so tight because I haven't really, been doing anything to get my doing the cardio. I haven't been really. I did go for a phase of feeling like a total failure if I didn't manage to get up and go. It really affected the rest of my day. Like if I didn't go to boot camp and work out, I would basically tell myself that was the day over, that there was no point in carrying on, and that nothing else was going to be productive and work out, and I wouldn't get anything done. And I'm starting to really realise that although the importance of me getting in that morning workout is very good for my mental health, for my kind of overall well-being and getting up and get going, it isn't the end of the world if I don't manage to go. I like to get in like 3 to 4 in a week if I can. If I don't manage to go because I've had a late night the night before, got in really late on the train, I just won't go in the morning. I'll figure out something, maybe I'll go for a long walk or I'll go in the evening. It is really important, and I do really enjoy going in the morning. I'm trying to teach myself that it's okay if you can't go one day. There's no need to feel guilty. When I get home, the first thing I do is I pour a cup of tea, put it in one of my flasks, and then I take the dogs out for a walk. Now I really like doing this because it's a kind of a moment of tranquility in a way, because I've just got my dogs, I've got my music, I've got nature. I love going for walks. It's giving a little bit more exercise for myself, and it's obviously also exercising the dogs. And I just think it's like that kind of moment of peace for me in the morning. I love watching my dogs run around the field and have fun. I think one of the most important things about just taking control and taking care of yourself is a little bit of pre-planning. Now, one thing that I did at the beginning of the week was obviously set out what days I was going to go to boot camp, but also I did a food shop. Tesco man has just come and delivered my weekly shop. Mid-makeup, but it could be worse. I could have been naked again. Alright, so it's Monday morning and it's arrived. Now, I did this online shop last night, pretty last minute. I was lucky to get a slot. I do like to get my food shop Monday morning, or well, at some point on Monday. As long as there's something to tie me over Monday daytime, food-wise, it's all good. But yeah, I've got everything to set me up for the rest of the week. So it was a pretty healthy shop this week. So all I've got really is, okay, so there's 2 people in the household. We've got a lot of chicken, eat chicken for lunches. I'm trying to cut down on my meat consumption by not having meat every single meal. So mornings I always have eggs or porridge, and then I'll have chicken for lunch, and then in the evening it's usually like either chicken or fish. So I have made sure that everything is just chicken for lunch. I do have salmon for one night this week, but the rest of it is just like vegetables. I've got corn mint, and I've got stuff to make like vegan curries. So basically, yeah, I'm sort of kind of trying to cut down on all meat. I don't eat red meat anymore. So I'm gonna make a chili con carne with this. Apricots and almonds and sultanas to make a tagine, which I'm doing tonight, along with some couscous. Then I just get stuff like cottage cheese, which is fat-free cottage cheese, and then we've got some feta cubes to put on salads, and then just a load of vegetables. I love steam bags. My weakness is steam bags. Sweet potatoes, some onion, and then I have loads and loads of vegetables in here too. So making sure that I've got all this good food, like first thing of the week. So I start doing meal prepping and everything like that, and do like a menu for the week. So the menu for the week is usually over here. This is my weekly planner, and it's got lunch. I've done 2 columns, lunch and dinner. This is an old one. I need to redo that one. So I need to put the shopping away and do the planner, sort the fridge out. It's kind of the food sort of sorted. One great way to do meal prep is to put shit in the slow cooker. Slow cooker, normally do chili, curries, and I'm gonna be making my first tagine. So I know tagine normally comes in a tagine, but I'm gonna be cheating and using the slow cooker. So got a recipe that I'm gonna try out. It's really good. It's just good because it's like, it takes about 5-10 minutes to prepare everything in the morning, get on low, go to work, come back, your dinner's done. You don't have to worry about eating, you don't have to worry about cooking, you don't have to worry about like snacking because you're hungry as soon as you get through the door. That's one thing that I sometimes do, is I cannot wait for my dinner, so I have everything. For me, it's all about balance. I like to eat really good in the week, and that enables me a little bit more, enables me to have more fun at the weekend. I'm not saying that eating healthy isn't fun, it's just getting that balance right. Being super balanced in the week doesn't always have to be a chore. If you do fancy going for a midweek Nando's, there are ways around eating good and still being out and being able to socialise. Here in Nando's, I've come out to eat with my friend Kat, and this is an example of some stuff that you can eat. This is a grains and greens salad. It's just a big salad with lots of stuff in, broccoli. I've even got some chicken. Then I've got some macho peas. I love them. And then we're sharing this butternut squash and sweet potato feta thing. Throughout the week, I kind of eat things like, I'll have my porridge for my breakfast, like a nice big salad for my lunch, and in the evenings it's always like, you know, a combination of vegetarian chilies, curries, tagines. I might even have like things like salmon in the week as well. And to me, this is all really yummy, nutritious food, and I never feel like I'm missing it. That nice balance, for me, it keeps me happy. I do, however, love to have an ice cream in the evening. I always get these mini magnums godsend. So along with eating good, I like to work out 3 or 4 times a week. I have a PT session with Kat, who is my PT, but also a good friend of mine now. And she's really good for making me feel better, making me not feel guilty, and really, really motivating me. She always has something really good to say about fitness, your mindset, and your well-being. I think what's really important for me, this doesn't always have to be about losing weight.
I think there's a definite shift. Like, I've got quite a few clients at the moment that when I sat down like in this room having a consultation with them and said, what are your goals? They've said, I'm not bothered about losing weight. If that happens, it happens. I just want to be healthy. I just want to be strong. Like, they are scared that their fitness levels are declining or that the strength's declining, and I think that's such a good way to look at it, because then you'll see the results. And whereas if you come in looking for weight loss but you're not controlling your diet, you won't see the result. If people are so fixated on what the scales are saying, they're not going to see if they're gaining muscle. They're not going to see if they're feeling fitter or feeling stronger. They're just going to be looking at the stomach and looking at the bits of themselves that they don't like. A lot of people come to me just wanting a goal. They just want like a physical goal, but they don't really think about what effect it's going to have on their well-being. But I think obviously, like in the media and everything, it is starting to be more apparent that for your mental health, like for just how you feel day to day, training and just coming to the gym and speaking to people and sweating and getting your heart rate up makes you feel really good at the end of it. And if you're doing that 3 times a week, it's inevitable that it's going to have a really good effect on how you feel about yourself.
I like feeling like I can do things. I like feeling like I can climb a mountain or go on like a 15-mile hike and not let it ruin me. I like knowing that when I go to the train station, I have my luggage, that I can lift my bag above my head. Fitness and healthy lifestyle is to me more about what it enables me to do. It's less and less these days about losing weight, looking a certain way. It's more about proving what I can do.
We get a lot of messages saying like, I really want to give this a go, but I've not done anything in the past, I'm not fit, can I do this? And everyone gets, I call it the boot camp fear. I get the boot camp fear. If I've not done one in like 4 weeks, I'll be like, oh, I'm gonna feel sick, I'm gonna embarrass myself, I'm not gonna be able to do it. All it takes is just doing that first one and saying, you know what, whatever happens, happens. If I need to run off and be sick, then don't worry, 20 people have done it before you. Or chances are you'll be building it up in your head something that it's not gonna be, you know. If you go along to a class or a gym session and you're finding it too hard, just sit down, just say, sorry guys, I need a bit more rest. And I think as long as you get that one out of the way, they're never going to be as bad as you first go, because you've got a mixture of anxiety in there. So if you're anxious about starting something new, your heart rate's already high, throw in a workout, that's why it's going to feel harder than it is. So I think you've just got to just be a little bit brave and say, you know what, if I want to make this change and get myself out of this slump, no one's going to do it for me. I've got to book in, like, you know, find somewhere, a running club, a dance class, it can be anything. Just go along. If you don't like it, if they're all horrible to you, just don't go back, find somewhere else. But it gets easier every time. It does get easier every time.
If I go to a boot camp and I think, oh, that was fairly easy, that makes me feel so good. When I have a PT session and I'm lifting heavier, that makes me feel so good. I think that kind of those positive feelings and that I can, you can do this is sort of, it already resonates through like the rest of my life. Getting the balance right is super important as well. Not to guilt trip you, if you can't work out for any reason at all, or you can't, like you're just not able to, it isn't the end of the world.
Helen is really bad for being on a roll and getting up every morning, doing boot camp, you know, eating really well. And then she'll have a couple of weeks where that isn't the case, whether it's her job or something's come up. Obviously, like her lifestyle isn't 9 to 5, you know, she might be in London on a Tuesday, and then if she lets herself go downhill even for like a week, she beats herself up about it. And I think that's so important, and I've tried to talk to Helen about this so many times. It's a lifestyle, it isn't something that you have to do all or nothing. You know, I'm a personal trainer and I've trained I think once a week for the past 3 weeks just because of how busy I am. But the danger is if you start feeling like you're losing control or you're not doing it right, that's when those habits are going to really set in. Whereas if you start to go off track, one boot camp a week is fine, you know, at least you're still doing it. And that's what we try and kind of talk about with Helen is it's fine to be busy. I mean, you can't ever have a period of time in your life where you can be everything all of the time. I think it's really important not to rely on having a routine and having fitness as part of your life, but just really enjoy it when you do. That's what we've been trying to touch upon over the last few months. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. Do it varying degrees of intensity and just be proud of yourself that you're doing it anyway, you know? So don't put pressure on yourself, Helen.
I am starting to learn more that like I shouldn't rely on it to have a successful day. I'm also really learning the importance of like, okay, be motivated, be productive, but productivity levels is solely based on how smart you work, not how much you do. I think it is, in this day and age, it's always this battle of who's done the most, who's worked the hardest, who's the biggest girl boss. I don't really agree with that. Someone said work smarter, not harder. It's really challenging and hard for someone that works from home, who's self-employed, that has to motivate themselves. Finding these things that keep you motivated, whether that is fitness, whether that's something else, to get the cogs turning, that's one of the challenging things and one of the important things of when you have to motivate yourself and when you're on your own. But yeah, I can say from like an honest point of view, is being good to myself, finding ways to get outside and be active, rewarding your body with things that it kind of needs and it wants. Real good feeling. It's a very uplifting feeling, and for me it's one of the things that keeps me going, and it's something that I have learned to really love. When you take away the negative connotations of healthy eating and exercise, see it from a perspective of how it can just benefit you and your everyday life, that's when you'll learn to love it, and that's why I love it.
I woke up and I was like, I should put makeup on today. I really should put makeup on today. And then I sat and watched Time Team and I was like, I'd rather do this. Finding some Roman coins. Yeah. Do I look awful?
No, you're cool.
Do I look red?
No.